Okay, this is going to be part 2 of the Illustrator for Beginners. I want you to go ahead and open Illustrator and open your part 1. What you should be seeing is what we completed on the part 1 right here. Okay, next thing I want you to do is make sure that your workspace is Essential Classic. If it's anything different, just click on Essentials Classic and you'll get that. You should have a toolbar like this. All right, next thing I want you to do is I want you to bring out your panels. Now my panels, I don't see it over here. You go to Window, go to Layers, and then you'll see your layers. Now sometimes it will be in the panel bar over here, and if you see it, that's the icon. And then you can click and open it, then click and hold on the word layers, and then you can drag it over. Okay. Now, as you can see a little icon of what we see here because that represents what is in that layer, right? Layers are really important. So let's do this. I want you to now work with, see how layers work. So if I select all this, you can see, I can manipulate and change all this if I wanted to. But watch what happens if I go click in this area. That will lock the layer. So if I click on it, notice how that's no longer selected and I can't work with it. I can't edit it. I can't do anything with it. And not until I go back and unlock it. Okay. So that's going to be a really important thing to learn there. So now if I come down to this little icon, it says create new layer. So square with a plus, click that. You got a new layer. You got a layer 2. Now, one more thing, I can show you this. See this little eyeball? If you click on that, notice how that goes away. Okay. All right. Now, make sure you do have layer 2 selected. It should be sort of a dim blue color. Okay. All right. So let's come down here to our stroke and our fill. I want my stroke to be, I want no stroke. Okay. So if I click on that and select that, right, I want you to come down to this little white square with this little red line diagonally through it and click on that. Notice how it put it down through there. So therefore, we won't have a stroke. Now your fill color, you select on that, you can make it whatever color you want. I'm feeling like maybe a little bit of green here. We'll do some green, okay? So no stroke, fill, whatever color you want. All right, now I want you to click on the M key. Okay, remember this is going to be the rectangle tool, right? That's the quick command for the square or the rectangle. Now hold Shift key and you're going to constrain and make a good square, okay? Now I'm going to, notice how I'm doing this. I clicked on I'm holding the space bar. I get this little hand for my cursor and then click on my mouse and hold it. And I can move this, okay? Now I'm going to do Control plus and zoom in on this. So if you do Control plus on your keyboard, you'll zoom in. If you need to kind of reposition, you can. Now I want you to notice these little circles in here. And notice how my cursor is changing once I get on top or near them, right? Now, I'm still in the rectangle tool, okay? Now, if I go over this and I click and hold and then pull in, notice how all 4 corners start to pull in. If I go all the way in, I got a circle. So let's just back out and get it sort of rounded, okay? Still want kind of a square, but rounded corners. All right. Now, really, what you want to do when doing that, I prefer to just use the selection tool. Okay, if you click on V, get the selection tool, I can go in here and now click and it'll do the same thing. So I click and hold, it'll drag it in. Okay. All right. Now, let's do this. If you remember, to duplicate this shape, it's selected. If I hold the Alt key, right? If I hold the Alt key, notice how my cursor has changed. and I click and hold on my mouse and then drag out, I can get another duplicate shape. Okay? I was holding the Alt key, click on hold on the shape, and then pull out to the side. Now, we're going to do something different. We already got this kind of started, but let me go ahead and push these back out. Okay, I'm going to push them back out to begin with. All right. Okay, so we got a regular square again, right? Now what I want you to do is just click on this one. Don't click and drag, just click on it. Now I want you to notice how it's kind of got a white with a red around it. This has a red dot in the middle, a red dot in the middle. This has a white dot in the middle. That means it is selected. And now if I click and hold on it and pull this one in, notice I'm only dragging this one in. Okay? Go all the way across. Now, if I go click on that, just click one time, and then click and hold, and go all the way across here. Okay? Pretty cool. All right. So let's do something else. Move it over a little bit. Let's do another square. Click on M on your keyboard. Now you got the rectangle tool. Hold the shift key, and let's make another square. Okay? All right. So let's move this over a little bit. Now let's do another selection tool. Let's use the direct selection tool. We've not used that one yet. Now notice the quick command is the letter A. Okay. Click on your keyboard, the letter A. Now notice how you have that tool. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to come up here, and you see this right here. If I hover my mouse over it, it says anchor. If I hover over this edge, it says path. Okay. So this shape, actually, let's go down here and do this. On your fill, make it none as well. Okay. If you notice, really all you have whenever you're making shapes in Illustrator is vectors, right? So what it's doing is these are anchor points, right? And what's in between those anchor points is your path. And that just delineates the edges of whatever shapes you have. Now, remember, these are vectors. So this is kind of like an XY coordinate. This is XY coordinate, XY coordinate, XY coordinate, and then it just shoots a line across. Okay? Anyway, let's make that green again. And notice what I did. You see this right here? You see that little green square, which was my color? All I did was I clicked back on it, and it put the green back in. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Now, let's do this. Now that I got my direct selection tool, I can click on anchors individually. Okay. So what I did was I want you to click on this upper left-hand corner. Notice what happens. It turns red. This one has a white dot in the middle, white dot in the middle, white dot in the middle, because these are not selected and this one's selected. It's only because I'm using this tool. Okay. That wouldn't work if I was using the selection tool. If I use the selection tool, I just click on the selection tool. Notice I go to click on this, it doesn't select it. It just wants me to reshape the shape. Either I can, do as we did before. I can rotate it, make it bigger, do all those things. I can go in here and click on that, but I can't select on these anchor points. Okay, I can't. Now if I go back to this tool, the direct select, I can click on that one, select it alone, but I can also select more. Okay, but just leave it that for now. So you got this one selected. Now here's what I want you to do. Hit the backspace key. Okay, on your keyboard, upper right hand corner, the backspace key, basically the delete, right? Now notice what I did. We just deleted an anchor point. Okay, right? If I go click on this one, I can delete it too. I go click on this one, I can delete that one. I go click on this one, I can delete that one. Okay. Do Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z to get back to your triangle. Okay. So that's what the power of the direct selection tool will do. Okay. Versus the selection tool. So now I'm going to click on the V key because I'd like to move this thing. I'm going to move it over. Okay. All right. Next thing. Okay, we have done quite a bit with the square. Let's try a circle. Okay, so let's move this over. So what I want you to do, if we come over here, I want you to notice if I click and hold on the rectangle tool, notice how it expands out into this panel of other shapes. Okay. So what I'm going to do is while I'm holding my mouse, clicking, I've got it clicked, I'm holding it down. I'm going to come down here to the ellipse tool, or I could use the letter L. Okay. So I just released and got the ellipse tool. Okay. Now, if I come over here, if I hold the shift key, well, let's not hold the shift key first. I'm going to click with my mouse and drag, and notice how I can make these ovals, these ellipses, right? Now, if I hold the shift key while I'm holding my mouse, notice how I'm making circles. I can either make it smaller or bigger. Okay. All right. So here's what I want to do. So you got a circle, but let's make it a semicircle. Okay. Click the A key again. Remember, the A key is the direct select tool. Now, if I come down and this is my anchor, I'm going to click on my anchor. Notice what I got. Just like in the Bezier game, these are your handles, right? See, if I put my cursor right towards those ends, those are handles, right? Don't do anything with those just yet. Let's just click on this anchor point and we're going to delete it. Okay, I just hit backspace key, okay? Now, the direct selection tool will allow me to move a shape, okay, just like the selection tool. So I can move the shape, okay? All right. All right, next, let's make another circle. If you click on the letter L, notice it gives me the ellipse shape. Hold the shift key, make a circle, and get my cat out of the way. All right, so now if you press the A key, move this over a little bit. Actually, mistake. Click the V key, okay? All right, so with the V key, notice how we got this box around it, right? And then also we have this thing. Notice when I get near it, that little circle is kind of on this little extension right here. Notice how I got this like little Pac-Man shape, right? Now, if I click and hold on this and then pull down, notice how it opens it up, kind of like a pie. Or if I can go back this way, whoops, that was interesting. Huh, didn't know that. So if I hold out here, that's weird. Why is it? Doesn't seem to have a logic to it. Was interesting. All right, so just bring it straight down. Now notice that it gives me end angle, right? I want 90 degrees. So I'm going to come down to 90 degrees and just release that. So now I got a piece of pie cut out of my circle. Okay. So let's move that over. Okay. All right. So now this next shape, let's zoom out and see what we got so far. I'm going to control minus. Okay, so this is everything we got so far. And actually, let me kind of compact all this just a little bit. I'm going to move this, select all this, kind of move it over a little bit. I want to show you something. If I have all this selected or anything selected, the arrow keys on your keyboard, you got up, down, right, left. It's under the Shift key. If you press on those arrows, you gotta have something selected first. And if you press on those arrows, notice how it kind of shifts things over. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You can see this better. If I just click, notice how it just sort of nudges the shape over. And this is using the arrows, right? Clicking down, clicking up, keeps deselecting on me. Click on left, click on right. Okay, I don't know why it's deselecting on me. But anyway, if I hold on the arrow, notice it'll just kind of keep shifting it in one direction or the other. Does it kind of slowly. It's supposed to be kind of gradual, I guess. So you can fine tune it, okay? So that's another way to move things is the arrow keys, and it does it in a gradual way, okay? So now let's zoom back in. Control plus, hold the space bar, bring that down, okay? So I'm going to put something right here now, okay? All right, hold the M key again. We're back to the square. Hold the Shift key. I meant press the M, not hold the M. Now hold the Shift key. Make it a square. All right. Now we're going to do some pretty wild stuff, okay? Getting pretty out there. All right, we're going to do some customization on this shape, okay? Now we're going to do the flat design selfies, right? And I said that we want to focus on like rectangles and squares and circles and triangles to do the shapes of the face. So let's kind of make a interesting head shape, maybe a little more human-like, okay? Kind of an egg head type shape, right? So here's what I want to do. We're going to use a tool we've never used yet, okay? Now, if you come over here, this is your pen tool. Notice it has a P for the quick command. So I'm going to click on the P key. Now notice how my cursor now looks like that, right? Now notice next to the pen cursor, there's a little asterisk right beside of it, okay? Now, as I go to different places, it changes. Like if I get near this, notice how it turns into a plus. And it also says the word intersect. You can barely read it. Now, you see that line that goes up to the middle of this? That's showing me that I'm right up under that. Now, if you are not showing that, I had a student the other day that was not showing for him, okay? If these lines are such as, I'm just going to do something real quick. I'm going to click on the V key. You see those lines are popping up? That's going to kind of let me know when things are lined up through the middle or through the bottom or any of that, those lines. And you don't have those, come up here to View, Smart Guides. Smart Guides is what allows you to do it. Now, if I move that around, notice I don't see any of those lines shooting out, right? So View, Smart Guides. Make sure it's checked, okay? Now, if I move around, I get those lines again, okay? Now, press the P key, get the pen tool, line it up right up under it, okay? Come right down to the edge so you get that little plus right next to the pen cursor. Now, click on that. Now, what we did was we just laid an anchor down right there, okay? The pen tool, like when you click on a path, it will add an anchor. Now, if I go back to that, and I hover over it, notice I get this minus next to the pen tool. If I click on that, anchor gone. Come back, plus sign, click, anchor there, go back, and there's a minus, okay? So just know you can do that with the pen tool, okay? Now, why don't we put an anchor right there, okay? Now press the A key, okay? I want you to go up to that. I want you to click and hold that anchor point and then pull down, just like that. Make sure you always see that line because we want to line it right up through under the middle. We get about right here, just release it, okay? Now notice we now have one of those corner widgets again. Now we create a corner. So now What I want you to do is, we're not going to click on that one just yet. I want you to click in the green. Click on the green. Now look what's appeared. Now these appeared. Okay, the other ones. I want you to click on this one. And then we're going to do something interesting we haven't done yet. Hold the shift key. I want you to click on this one. Now I want you to click on this one. Now you can release the shift key. Notice how this one's not selected and this one's not selected. Okay, because I didn't click on them, holding the shift key. Now come down to this one in the middle, click and hold it, and drag up. Now if I keep going, it's going to turn around. I don't want that. I want kind of a point like a chin and a jaw. So that could be sort of a jaw and a chin, right? Now unless we're Frankenstein, we got this flat head here. Let's do something with that, okay? Now if I click just in the white, nothing selected, click in the green, these are back, those are not selected anymore. Click on this one, hold the shift key, click on this one. Now these two are selected, and click and hold one and pull it all the way in. Now we got this little dome here. Now we got a kind of a head shape there, don't you think? Right? Okay, making some progress. All right, a little advance there. All right, what are we going to do next? Okay, we're going to get pretty wacky now, okay? We're going to do something kind of weird. So let's click on the L key to get the circle tool, okay, ellipse tool rather. Hold the shift key, make a circle, and press the V key. Let's move it in. Okay, now press the A key to get the direct selection tool. Click on the anchor and select it. Okay. Now I'll show you something. Now if I come to this handle and I click on hold on it and then I drag out on it, notice what that does. All right, I can make it longer, I can make it shorter. And notice how it's changing that curve, right? And then if I go up and down, it's moving the other side here too, right? Right. Now, what if I grab the anchor, come over to the anchor, click and hold, and drag it around? Notice what that does. Right? Okay. All right. So we got kind of a weird teardrop shape. Okay. All right. I think we're about running out of space here, so let's move over and down about right here. Okay. Something we've not done yet is create a triangle. Okay, we've not created a triangle yet. Zoom in a little bit. Get a drink of water. Clear my throat. All right, now come over here. Now I'm going to show you something else with this panel, okay? If I click and hold on this panel, and then I come over here to that, and then I got to it, and I then released. Notice what that does, that panel. Okay, I'll do that again. Click and hold on this, come out to this end right here, where it turned dark, and then release my mouse. And now it made this sort of an external panel. Okay. I want to show you with the pen tool too. If I click and hold on that, come out to this panel, and now I got this. Okay, let's just drop this right down here because we're going to come back to that. Okay. So anyway, all right, we're supposed to be doing the polygon tool. Okay. So click on the polygon. Notice that it doesn't have a quick command. So click on the polygon tool. Now, I want you to not click and drag. Do not click and drag. Okay, you click and drag, you're going to get a polygon. Okay, we don't want a polygon. Let's delete that. I want you to just click on the white. Just click on it. Okay, and this is what you're going to get. is you're going to get a polygon, kind of radius, sides. Bring your sides down to 3, okay? As far as you can go is 3. Whoops. Now click OK. You get a triangle, okay? Now if I press the V key, I can move this down. Now I can make it bigger, hold the Shift key. If I don't hold the Shift key, notice what that does. It constrains, it gets all wacky, right? Hold the Shift key, constrains it. Release the Shift key, it gets squished and stretched. Okay? Shift key, constrain. All right. Now, notice we have the little corners again. Okay? It's only showing for this side. Maybe if I do the direct select, so click on the A key. Okay, interesting. So the A key is going to give me the little widgets in the corner here. The V key, however, only gives me one hair. Oh, but it still affects the other 3 corners. Interesting. Okay, so let's just make it some little rounded edges there, okay? Corners, right? So if I undo that and I do the A key, I could potentially just do 2 of them by holding the Shift key, right? Now I got a true teardrop shape. Cool. All right, but I don't want that. Let's just make it kind of like that. That actually kind of looks like a nose, doesn't it? It sure does. So let's leave it. That looks like a little Hershey kiss. Okay? All right. So what's next? Let's make it all rounded. So polygon tool again. I got to come here and click on it because there's no quick command. Click here. 3. Click OK. V key, bring it down. Let's make it a little bigger. Oh, so I see something here we could try. You see this? Watch what this does. Interesting. Right? So you can change the sides this way. Oh, that's cool. Now I wonder what, I'm going to delete that. I wonder if I actually click and drag on the polygon, hold Shift key. Oh, it only gave me a triangle. Huh. I'm going to try something. Click there, maybe if I go back up to the Pentagon. Okay, so it does give me this. So even if I had the Pentagon, I could, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, it'll give me 3 sides. Okay. Oh, so much with Illustrator. Okay, let's click the V key, bring that down, and let's make all the corners rounded. And then we can make it a little bigger. Remember, if I let go of the Shift key, it doesn't constrain it. So let's squish it. Let's make a squish triangle. That could be a interesting nose shape too, couldn't it? Right? Okay. So let's leave that there. All right. So it's exploring. Now, what about a star shape? Let's come over here and click and hold. Come down to the star tool. Okay. Now, when I click and drag this, hold the Shift key, it's giving me a 5-point star, right? Now, if I press the V key, I'm going to bring this down here. Let's hold the Alt key and make another one. Okay. Now let's come back to this first one. I want you to see what happens when you do this. Kind of looks like a Moravian star now, or else like a ninja throwing star, or kind of a funky triangle. So leave it on just something more than a 5-point star, okay? Just add more points. Now, I want to show you what you can do with these, that, and that, okay? So if I click and hold on this and pull it in, notice how it rounds the ends there, right? Now, if I click and drag this out, notice that it rounds the outside. So now it's kind of like a little gear, right? Now, if I click and hold on this, it pulls these out, right? Or if I click and drag on this, it pulls the middle out, kind of bloats it out. It's like a sheriff's badge, right? Now, if I click and hold this, shifts get a little big on me. Shrink that down. Looks like a Christmas cookie, like a Christmas cookie shape, cookie cutter shape, right? Looks kind of soft. All right. All right. So now we got the 5-point star, right? Let's just leave it a plain 5-point star. That's fine. Okay. All right. Now what? Okay. I think we just got one more thing to do. Okay. Now this next thing, this is going to blow your mind. Okay. You're going to be like, what? All right. Because this is going to be something totally different. Okay. We're going to be using that pen tool again. Okay. Now, I want to show you the quick command again for the pen tool, right? It's the P key, right? So if I press the P key, right? Now, when we do this, something very important, okay? I want you to come over here to the stroke and put none. The fill, and put none. No stroke, no fill, okay? Very important when you're using the pen tool, and I'll explain in a second. So here's what I want you to do. No clicking and dragging, just clicking, okay? You're going to click your mouse, all right? Then move your mouse. Notice how it has this little connection to it, this line reaching out from the anchor point. So you got an anchor point. Now notice when I put my cursor back over, it becomes a minus, so I can delete it if I wanted to. So if I come out here, I click again. I didn't drag, I just clicked. Okay, click and release. Click release. Click release. Okay. Now I'm going to click and hold and then drag. Now notice what's happening. Click, hold, and drag. What I'm doing is I'm creating handlebars, right? I'm creating curves, right? Now, if I come back to where I originally started, notice what's going to happen next to my pen cursor. See that little circle that appeared next to my pen cursor? That means if I click back on the original anchor, it's going to enclose this area. All right. Now we made a complete shape, a path that goes all the way around, okay, with anchor points, with handles, okay. Now we can come over here and we can give our shape a color. I'll just go ahead and give it that green again, okay. Now, of course, I could give it a stroke if I wanted to, but let's do this. I'm going to press the V key. I'm going to move this out of the way. And let's shrink it down. Let's click and hold with the shift key and just shrink this down. Okay. All right. Now let's make another shape. Okay. Let's this time leave the fill on. Leave the fill on. Okay. Press your P key and release it. Now what I'm going to do is if I click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. Notice what it's doing. It's trying to fill in a shape. It's filling in as much as it knows how to fill. All right. Now it's going to do something really weird. right? It doesn't know what to do, right? So it's really best to have the fill off while you're doing this, okay? All right. So I'm going to go back and try to complete this, okay? I don't like that because it's crossed over right there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to press the A key. I'm going to come over here and click and hold my anchor. I'm going to move it over here. Just like that. Now it's doing some weird stuff with those handles. I don't like it, but okay. So you can move your anchor points around. Okay, you can move your handles around. Kind of looks like face. Like a little chin here. Just need another little lip in there. Got a strange forehead and a strange nose. Anyway, all right. So the handles, you can go back and manipulate them afterwards. You can shorten them, lengthen them, right? You can move them, manipulate them. Now let's do something here. All right, this is going to get a little advanced on you here, okay? So I can grab the path itself, okay, in between the anchor points. Notice how my cursor gets this little strange arc on it. If I click and hold on that, notice I can manipulate the path itself, right? And it's going to change those handles, okay? So let's say I want to move this out. And this way, and the main thing I'm showing you right now is you can really customize and do some really fine tuning on any kind of shape you make, okay? Now, here's what I want to do. Let's just say I don't like this anchor point because it doesn't have a handle on it to really smooth this out, right? If I press on the P key to get the pen tool back, and then I can go back on that and hover over the anchor point and click and delete it, okay? I can go back and click this one. And now I kind of might like that shape better. It's a little smoother and not as wonky looking, right? Now, let's do something very interesting here. Let's come and I wonder if I click and hold on that. No, Control Z. All right. You see this tool right here? This is your anchor point tool. Shift C is a quick command, okay? But let's just click on that, okay? Now watch what happens when I click on this. If I click on this anchor point, click on this anchor point, click on this anchor point, click on this anchor point. Notice what it did. It got rid of all my handles, okay? Now what if I go click and hold and drag? Oh, I just made some more handles. If I click and drag and hold, click and drag and hold. Now if I go the other wrong way, it's going to twist over. Click and drag and hold. Right, so maybe I like that, okay? Now, what happens if I go click on the end of this handle? I just deleted half the handle. I can go click on this end of this handle, and now that half the handle's gone. Now, if I go click and drag again, okay, so this tool, it deletes handles, creates handles, deletes handles like that. Now, let's do something really unique and different. I want you to come to the handle. Don't click and release. Just click and hold. So I clicked and hold. Notice what it did. I just broke that handle. Been playing that Bezier game. You know, you can break that handle by holding the Alt key like when you made that heart shape, right? Okay. So I can break handles. Right? Do all kinds of wild stuff. Okay. Press the A key. I'm just going to move this around, manipulate a little bit better. All right, now what? All right, notice I clicked on it, it's gone. If I click here and drag, it'll find it, right? If I even kind of come and I just move over it, it lets me know there's a path there, right? Now, if I click and drag, it's where you see that dotted line. It's kind of like I'm casting a net over it, right? Oh, that's interesting. Look what that did. Interesting. Didn't know you could do that. All right, still learning. All right, so now if I come back over here, I could give it a stroke if I wanted to. Now remember, you're not going to see the stroke until you go to the stroke tool, stroke panel, and increase the stroke on it. Okay, so this shape, I want you to put a stroke on it. I think that pretty much, oh, there's one more thing I want to show you. Okay. I want to show you what happens if you ever double click on a shape. And some of you may have already done it. All right. And I've been like, what did I just do? If you click on the V key, I want you to go and double click on a shape. Notice what that did. It just dimmed everything out. And then it also did this. Okay. And then it did this. Look what that did there. What it is, it puts it in what's something called isolation mode. So that way, I don't know, you're just isolating this. I don't know. I don't get it. I've never used it. I don't know why necessarily you want to do that. But all you can do to get out of it, all you have to do is you can press the escape key, which is in the upper left of your keyboard. Or I'm going to double click it again. You can go up here and click on that arrow. You got to click on it basically twice. And now you're back out. Okay. So if you ever accidentally double click on a shape, that's what you can do to get back out of it. Okay. All right. So I need to show you how to save and turn this in. Okay. Very important steps involved here. Okay. Anytime, of course, we've been working on this. Now this is going to be part 2, but we've worked on part 1. We could just go down here if you've already saved it. You know, basically we just open that. You can just click on save. Okay. Because you've already saved it once, right? Just click on save. Yours doesn't have to say part 2 right there. It's fine. It might still say part 1. But I've been working on mine. I've made multiples of these. Okay. So basically, I'm going now to turn this in, go down to File, Export, Export As. Now, with this, you know, you can't get to your desktop. You don't have as many options I have. So remember, you're just going to save it down to the downloads, okay, because it's just going to be turned in. So make sure this is a PNG, okay? Yours might say something else. It might say PDF. It might say, I don't know, JPEG. We want to make it a PNG. Okay, make it a PNG. And make sure this says use artboards. Okay, now we're not done yet. We're going done with this screen. Get export. Now you're going to get this screen. Now, once you've saved yours one time, yours might pop up like this and might show you these options. Last class, I helped a lot of people save and showed them how to do this. And, you know, I think theirs originally was set something like this, right? Like screen 72, type optimized and transparent. If yours says that, you need to make sure it is high 300, make sure it's R optimized, make sure it is a white background, okay? And then click OK. Now you can go to Canvas. You can find your document, your PNG in your downloads, and you can turn it in for a grade. Okay? Good job. That's it.